Doctors won't tell you what happens when you go 3 days without food, but your body will. When you strip away all the noise, all the constant eating, all the processed snacks and sugar spikes, something powerful begins to awaken inside you. A 72-hour water fast isn't about starving yourself. It's about allowing your body to finally repair, reset, and restore at the deepest cellular level. You see, the moment you stop eating, your body doesn't panic. It gets focused. Within 24 hours, insulin levels start to drop dramatically. That single shift turns off your fat storage mode and signals your body it's time to start burning stored fat for energy. You're not running out of fuel. You're finally using the fuel that's been stored on your belly, your hips, your organs for years. By the 48-hour mark, you enter a powerful state of autophagy, your body's built-in cleanup system. Damaged cells, toxins, and inflammation begin to get recycled and flushed out. It's like a deep cleanse for your metabolism, your immune system, and even your brain. And then, at around 72 hours, something incredible happens. Stem cell production increases, inflammation plummets, and your metabolism resets on a whole new level. You feel lighter, sharper, more energized, not because you've deprived yourself, but because you've activated ancient healing pathways your body was designed to use. This is not starvation. This is intelligence. Your body knows exactly what to do when you stop feeding it junk and start giving it time to heal. Have you ever tried going a full day without food? And what did you notice? Comment below. I'd love to hear your experience. When you begin your water fast, the first 24 hours are where everything starts to shift beneath the surface. Most people think the body is suffering without food, but the truth is it's waking up. The moment you stop eating, your digestive system takes a back seat, and your hormones begin reorganizing themselves in a way that favors healing, clarity, and fat burning. During this first phase, insulin, your main fat storage hormone, starts to drop. Every time you eat, especially carbohydrates or snacks between meals, insulin rises and tells your body to store energy, not burn it. But when you fast, that signal finally goes quiet. Your cells no longer get the message to store fat, and instead, they're given permission to access it for energy. This hormonal silence is the first key that unlocks fat loss. Now, as insulin declines, another important process begins: glycogen depletion. Think of glycogen as your body's short-term energy tank stored mostly in your liver and muscles. It's made from glucose, the sugar that comes from the foods you eat. For about the first 12 to 18 hours of fasting, your body runs on that stored glycogen. But here's the magic. Once glycogen runs low, your metabolism begins to shift gears. You start transitioning from burning sugar to burning fat. This is the metabolic switch, and it's the moment your body begins reclaiming energy from stored belly fat. Hunger can feel intense early on because your body is used to constant feeding. Your brain is wired for rhythm, and when you skip a meal, it sends signals that something's off. But here's what's fascinating: hunger isn't constant. It comes in waves. It peaks around your usual meal times, then fades as ghrelin, the hunger hormone, naturally drops. The body learns quickly that food isn't coming, and it adapts. The digestive system quiets down. Your stomach stops churning. Your energy begins to even out. You're not starving, you're stabilizing. As this happens, another remarkable change begins. Inflammation starts to decline. Every meal, especially those heavy in seed oils, refined carbs, and processed foods, creates a little inflammatory response. Your immune system has to clean up the aftermath of digestion. But now, with no new food coming in, that burden is lifted. Your gut can rest, your liver can detox, and your immune system can redirect its energy from reacting to repairing. This is why so many people report feeling clearer, calmer, and less bloated after just 24 hours. The internal fire of inflammation is cooling down. Under the hood, your body is becoming metabolically flexible again. Most people live in a constant sugar, burning mode, dependent on snacks, coffee, and carbs just to feel normal. But your body was never meant to operate that way. It was designed to alternate between fed and fasted states, to store energy, and then use it efficiently when food isn't available. The first 24 hours of fasting begin to restore that natural rhythm. Your liver starts producing small amounts of ketones, molecules made from fat that serve as clean energy for your brain and cells. You might notice sharper focus, a lighter mood, and even bursts of energy that seem surprising considering you haven't eaten. That's not coincidence. That's chemistry. Your body is shifting away from dependency and moving toward freedom. Many people fear fasting because they think it's deprivation. But what actually happens in these first 24 hours is empowerment. You're teaching your body to stop depending on constant fuel and to trust its built-in intelligence. You're lowering insulin, burning glycogen, activating fat metabolism, and calming inflammation, all without a single pill, supplement, or workout. This is the foundation. The first 24 hours set the stage for everything that comes next: the deep fat burning, the cellular repair, the reset of your metabolism. It's your body's way of saying, finally, you're giving me space to heal. At around the 48-hour mark of your water fast, the magic of metabolic healing truly begins to unfold. By this point, your body has transitioned completely out of glucose dependence and into deep fat burning mode. The glycogen tanks in your liver and muscles are now nearly empty, and your metabolism has fully embraced its ancestral energy source, your stored fat. This is when the body starts producing ketones at a significant level. Ketones are molecules created from fatty acids in your liver, and they serve as an incredibly efficient fuel for both your muscles and your brain. Instead of relying on unstable blood sugar spikes, your brain now runs on a smooth, clean, burning energy source. That's why so many people describe a calm, laser-like focus around the 48-hour point. It's not placebo, it's biology. Ketones are anti-inflammatory, neuroprotective, and deeply energizing. They give your mind a clarity you can't access when your system is weighed down by constant eating and sugar dependence. As your body runs on fat, it begins drawing from deep reserves, the stubborn visceral fat around your belly and organs. This is the dangerous fat that drives inflammation, insulin resistance, and chronic disease. By 48 hours, lipolysis, the breakdown of fat, is in full swing. Your cells start releasing triglycerides, breaking them down into fatty acids and glycerol, which are then converted into ketones. Visceral fat, especially, tends to release stored water as it breaks down. So you might notice your belly start to look and feel flatter. This isn't just water weight, it's your body releasing metabolic waste and freeing itself from years of stored inflammation. Inside your cells, something even more profound is happening: autophagy. This is the body's self-cleaning mechanism, a process that removes old, damaged, or malfunctioning cells and recycles their components into new, healthy tissue. Imagine your body as a house that's been cluttered for years. Autophagy is the deep spring cleaning crew. It doesn't just tidy up, it takes out the trash, repairs what's broken, and repurposes what's still useful. By the 48-hour mark, autophagy is ramping up, targeting dysfunctional mitochondria, oxidized proteins, and even pre-cancerous cells. It's your biology's way of protecting you, rejuvenating you, and making you more resilient from the inside out. Inflammation markers also begin to drop significantly at this point. Studies show that fasting for 48 hours reduces levels of inflammatory cytokines, the same compounds that drive joint pain, bloating, fatigue, and brain fog. Your immune system becomes more efficient, your gut lining begins to repair, and your body starts shifting from defense mode to regeneration mode. The absence of constant digestion gives your organs space to focus on restoration. Your liver detoxifies more efficiently. Your lymphatic system flushes out waste. Your entire internal environment begins to reset toward balance. What's even more fascinating is how this affects your mind and emotions. When the body is running on ketones and inflammation decreases, neurotransmitters like GABA and dopamine balance out. The result? Calm energy, emotional stability, and deep focus. You're not just fasting physically, you're detoxing mentally. Many people report a quiet sense of peace, as if their body and mind are finally aligned after years of imbalance. Think of this phase as metabolic spring cleaning. Everything inside you is being reorganized. Old, inflamed fat cells are being emptied out. Cellular junk is being swept away. Your energy production becomes cleaner, your cells more efficient. It's like upgrading your body's operating system. Fewer glitches, faster processing, and more power on less input. By 48 hours, fasting stops being a challenge and starts becoming a revelation. You realize your body doesn't need to be constantly fed to function. It thrives when given the chance to reset. The mental fog lifts, inflammation drops, and your metabolism starts humming with precision. This is the phase where many people begin to feel what true metabolic freedom feels like. When hunger no longer controls you, when your body burns clean, and when your energy feels limitless, your body is not breaking down, it's breaking free. At the 72-hour mark of your water fast, you enter one of the most profound healing states the human body can experience. What began as a metabolic shift has now evolved into full cellular rejuvenation. Your body isn't just burning fat anymore, it's rebuilding itself from the inside out. Autophagy, the cellular recycling process that began around 48 hours, now reaches its peak. Old, damaged, and dysfunctional cells are being dismantled, and their raw materials are reused to create stronger, cleaner versions. Inside your tissues, the body is scanning for inefficiency. Anything that's inflamed, oxidized, or slowing you down is broken down and rebuilt. This is deep biological housekeeping. It's your cells taking out the trash and replacing it with new life. At this stage, stem cell regeneration begins to accelerate dramatically. Stem cells are your body's master builders, blank cells that can transform into any specialized cell your body needs. During a 72-hour fast, these stem cells become highly active, especially in the immune system, liver, and gut. When you eventually refeed after your fast, these new stem cells multiply and integrate, giving rise to fresh immune cells, repairing damaged tissues, and upgrading your body's entire internal network. It's like hitting the reset button on aging. Your immune system goes through what scientists call immune cell rejuvenation. Old, sluggish white blood cells that no longer function efficiently are cleared away. In their place, brand new immune cells are created, primed to protect you with greater intelligence and precision. This process reduces systemic inflammation and helps your body fight off infections more effectively. It's the biological equivalent of replacing an outdated defense system with a brand new, highly efficient one. Your liver, the master detox organ, also experiences a deep regeneration. With no constant influx of food to process, it finally has the energy to repair damaged tissue and flush out stored toxins. Fatty deposits in the liver start to break down. Enzyme function improves. Your liver cells become more efficient at metabolizing fat and balancing blood sugar. This is one reason why insulin sensitivity improves dramatically by the third day. Your cells are now responding to insulin efficiently, which means your body needs less of it to manage blood sugar, effectively turning off the fat storage switch that's been stuck on for years. In the gut, another transformation takes place. Fasting gives your intestinal lining time to rest and repair. Inflammation in the gut wall begins to subside, the microbiome starts to rebalance, and intestinal permeability, what many call leaky gut, begins to heal. This isn't just a digestive benefit. Your gut health affects your entire body. A stronger gut barrier reduces inflammation, supports the immune system, and improves nutrient absorption once you begin eating again. Meanwhile, deep in your fat tissue, Stored toxins and inflammatory compounds are being released and flushed out. Visceral fat, the dangerous kind that wraps around your organs, continues to shrink as your body breaks it down for fuel. This type of fat doesn't just store calories, it stores inflammatory cytokines and hormonal disruptors. When it's burned away, your entire system becomes less inflamed, your hormones begin to balance, and your metabolism becomes more efficient. This is why belly fat loss during a 72-hour fast isn't just cosmetic, it's a marker of healing at the metabolic level. By this stage, inflammation markers like CRP and TNF-alpha are significantly reduced. Your blood becomes less sticky, circulation improves, and cells throughout your body communicate more clearly. Even your mitochondria, the tiny power plants inside your cells, become more efficient at producing energy. You're literally operating on a cleaner, stronger, more resilient cellular network. The body is rebuilding itself with a new blueprint, one that's optimized for longevity, clarity, and strength. Your brain benefits too. Ketones continue to fuel sharp focus and mental calm. Many people report a deep sense of peace at this stage, not just because they're fasting, but because their body feels aligned, light, and free of the internal noise that chronic inflammation creates. The 72-hour mark is where fasting stops being a practice and becomes a reset, a complete biological renewal. You've activated your body's most ancient healing mechanisms, restored balance to your hormones, and triggered regeneration from the immune system to the gut. You're not just burning fat anymore. You're creating a new body from the inside out. When you complete a 72-hour water fast, you've just guided your body through one of the most profound healing experiences possible. But now comes the most critical phase, how you break the fast. This moment determines whether you extend all that healing or undo it in a single meal. Most people focus on the fasting window itself, but the refeed window is just as powerful. Think of it as the integration phase, the part where your body rebuilds, rehydrates, and replenishes itself with clean energy. For 3 days, your digestive system has been resting. Your stomach acid is lower, your gut lining is renewed, and your enzymes have taken a break. This means your system is highly sensitive. It's like a dry sponge waiting to absorb whatever you give it. Feed it the wrong fuel, and you can trigger inflammation, bloating, and insulin spikes that completely cancel out your progress. But feed it correctly, and you amplify every benefit of the fast: deeper cellular repair, steadier blood sugar, and longer lasting fat adaptation. The first 12 to 24 hours after a long fast should be treated with care and intention. The goal isn't to refill, but to rebuild. You're not trying to make up for missed calories. You're trying to reintroduce nutrients gently so your system can wake up smoothly. Start small and slow. Begin with hydration, mineral-rich water, a pinch of sea salt, or electrolytes to restore balance. Then move to easily digestible foods like bone broth, light soups, or cooked vegetables. These foods are soothing, rich in collagen and minerals, and gentle on your gut. Avoid high-fat, greasy meals or heavy animal protein right away. After a prolonged fast, your gallbladder may not be ready to handle a large fat load, and your pancreas needs time to restart enzyme production. Eating too much fat or protein too quickly can cause nausea, cramping, or even diarrhea. The same goes for sugar and refined carbohydrates. They can spike insulin, drive inflammation, and rapidly pull your body out of its fat-burning, healing mode. After your first light meal, wait a few hours and listen to your body. Once you feel stable and grounded, you can move to more substantial foods. Think wild-caught salmon or sardines, pastured eggs, cooked greens, avocado, and fermented foods like sauerkraut or kimchi. These help repopulate your gut with healthy bacteria and restore digestive strength. Add healthy fats gradually: olive oil, grass-fed butter, or a handful of nuts to ease your metabolism back into balance. Here's what a sample refeed plan might look like as morning: Breaking the fast egg, start with a glass of warm water and sea salt, followed by a cup of bone broth or vegetable broth. Wait 30-60 minutes. Eyes meditators, have a small plate of gently cooked vegetables like zucchini or spinach with a drizzle of olive oil and perhaps a few bites of avocado. Mast evenings, enjoy a moderate portion of protein, wild salmon, pastured chicken, or soft, boiled eggs, paired with steamed veggies and fermented food for gut support. End the day with plenty of hydration and rest. The next morning, you can resume normal, clean eating, ideally low carb or ketogenic style meals to maintain the fat burning state you've worked so hard to achieve. This will keep insulin low and allow autophagy's effects to linger longer. You've just rebuilt trillions of cells. Now it's time to feed them what they need, not what they crave. To preserve the benefits of autophagy after the fast, stay mindful of your eating window. Continue with intermittent fasting, maybe 16-8 or even 18-6, to keep your body cycling between repair and nourishment. Avoid snacking, manage stress, and get good sleep. These all help extend your metabolic flexibility. Breaking your fast the right way isn't about discipline. It's about respect. You've spent 3 days turning inward, healing, detoxing, and regenerating. This moment is your opportunity to honor that process. Food becomes medicine again, not comfort or distraction. You're teaching your body that eating isn't about constant stimulation, it's about targeted nourishment. When you break your fast with intention, you don't just end the fast, you complete the reset. Your body continues healing, your inflammation stays low, and your metabolism stays sharp. You've given your body a 72-hour gift. Now it's time to protect it with wisdom. Most people think belly fat is just a cosmetic issue, something that hides your abs or tightens your waistband. But the truth is that deep visceral fat around your organs is far more dangerous than the fat under your skin. It's not just sitting there, it's alive, metabolically active, and constantly sending out chemical distress signals that fuel inflammation throughout your entire body. Think of visceral fat as a toxic factory. It pumps out inflammatory cytokines like IL-6 and TNF-alpha, which interfere with your hormones, damage your cells, and drive insulin resistance. That's why people with more belly fat often struggle with low energy, brain fog, and stubborn weight gain. It's not just fat storage, it's chronic inflammation in disguise. Now, here's where fasting becomes such a powerful reset. When you go without food, you're not starving your body. You're starving inflammation. Every meal you eat, especially one high in refined carbs, processed oils, or sugar, triggers a surge of insulin and oxidative stress. Over time, that keeps your fat cells in constant storage mode and your body in constant defense mode. But when you fast, insulin drops, glucose stabilizes, and inflammation begins to calm. It's like turning off the power to that toxic fat factory. Your body finally gets the message that it's safe to start burning stored fat for energy. Research has shown that fasting can significantly reduce markers of inflammation and oxidative stress. Studies out of Harvard and the University of Southern California found that extended fasts trigger a drop in C-reactive protein, a CRP, a key indicator of systemic inflammation. At the same time, levels of adiponectin, a hormone that helps your body burn fat more efficiently, start to rise. You're literally changing the internal chemistry that once promoted fat storage into a state that promotes fat burning and healing. As insulin levels continue to stay low, the doors to your fat cells open. Fatty acids are released and converted into ketones, providing your body and brain with clean energy. And here's the fascinating part. Visceral fat is the first to go. Because it's more metabolically active, it responds faster to hormonal changes. So as insulin sensitivity improves and inflammation drops, that deep belly fat starts to melt away, releasing both stored energy and trapped toxins. Your body becomes its own detox machine. The liver, your metabolic headquarters, starts breaking down these freed, up fat molecules, filtering out the waste, and expelling it through natural pathways like your kidneys and lymphatic system. Meanwhile, autophagy cleans up cellular debris, recycling damaged components and preventing further inflammation. You're not just losing fat, you're cleansing your body on a cellular level. Azadi often explains it like this: chronic inflammation and insulin resistance are two sides of the same coin. When insulin is constantly high, inflammation stays high. When inflammation is high, insulin can't do its job. Your cells stop responding to it, and glucose stays trapped in your bloodstream. This vicious cycle keeps you tired, hungry, and stuck in fat storage mode. Fasting interrupts that cycle. It gives your body space to breathe, space to heal, and space to restore sensitivity to insulin, the master metabolic switch. Think of it like rebooting your smartphone after it's been running too many apps at once. Over time, it gets sluggish, overheated, and unresponsive. Fasting is your system reboot. It closes the unnecessary programs, clears the background noise, and lets your metabolism run smoothly again. That's why people who fast regularly report clearer thinking, better digestion, and an easier time maintaining weight loss, because the inflammation fat cycle has been broken. What's remarkable is that you don't need to fast for weeks to see these results. Even a few days of water fasting can trigger a cascade of healing responses. Insulin drops, autophagy rises, inflammatory pathways quiet down, and visceral fat begins to shrink. In one 2019 study published in Cell Metabolism, researchers found that fasting not only improved insulin sensitivity, but also lowered inflammation and oxidative damage in fat tissue itself. Your body knows how to heal, it just needs the opportunity. When you stop eating for a period, you're not depriving yourself, you're allowing your body to return to its natural intelligence. You're reminding it how to tap into stored energy, detoxify itself, and balance hormones without relying on constant input. The less inflammation you have, the more efficiently your metabolism can function, and the easier it becomes to burn fat where it matters most, around your belly and your organs. So, fasting isn't just about looking leaner. It's about silencing the internal fire of inflammation that keeps you stuck. It's about restoring the harmony between your hormones, your metabolism, and your cells. When you give your body time to rest, it rewards you by healing. And that's when real fat loss begins. A 72-hour fast isn't just a one-time experiment. It's an opportunity to completely reset your relationship with food, energy, and your own biology. Once you've experienced the clarity, focus, and healing that comes from going 3 days without food, you realize this isn't deprivation, it's empowerment. It's not about punishment or restriction. It's about tapping into the natural intelligence that your body was designed with. The key is learning how to make fasting part of your lifestyle safely and sustainably. You don't need to do a 72-hour fast every week. In fact, that would be too much for most people. Think of it like a quarterly reset or a metabolic tune-up. Something you do every few months to clear out inflammation, rebuild your cells, and remind your metabolism who's in charge. Between those extended fasts, you can maintain your progress through daily intermittent fasting, 16-8 or 18-6 patterns, which keep insulin low and your fat-burning pathways active. Mindset is everything. Most people approach fasting with fear. What if I get too hungry? What if I feel weak? But when you shift the mindset from scarcity to strength, everything changes. Fasting becomes a practice of self-trust. You begin to realize how powerful you really are when you stop letting food control you. Hunger waves come and go, but your focus sharpens, your energy stabilizes, and your body starts to communicate in ways it never did before. You start to feel in tune with your biology, not fighting against it, but flowing with it. Hydration is also essential. During longer fasts, your body flushes out electrolytes along with stored water, so replacing sodium, magnesium, and potassium becomes crucial. A pinch of sea salt in your water, A mineral-rich electrolyte mix, or even a dash of Himalayan salt can make all the difference in keeping your energy stable and preventing fatigue or headaches. Remember, fasting doesn't mean neglecting your body, it means supporting it more intentionally. Recovery days after your fast are equally important. When you finish a 72-hour fast, don't jump straight back into your old eating habits. Give your digestion time to wake up slowly with nutrient-dense, easy-to-digest foods. Bone broth, avocado, cooked vegetables, and light protein. Think of it like gently reigniting a fire that's been resting. The quality of the food you eat after your fast determines how long those benefits last. Break your fast with intention, and your body will continue to thrive for weeks afterward. Fasting also has a ripple effect on other areas of life. It sharpens your mental discipline, improves your relationship with hunger, and helps you separate true nourishment from emotional eating. You start noticing how often you used to eat out of boredom, stress, or habit. And once you've experienced real metabolic freedom, those impulses begin to lose their grip. Your energy becomes steady throughout the day. You stop crashing after meals. You begin to feel lighter, not just physically, but mentally. The best part is fasting adapts to your lifestyle. You can customize it around your goals. Maybe you choose to do one 24-hour fast per week, a 36-hour fast every other week, and a 72-hour fast every few months. It doesn't have to be rigid. It just has to be intentional. Each fast is a reminder that healing doesn't come from adding more. It comes from giving your body less to process so it can focus on restoring balance. Over time, this becomes more than a health strategy. It becomes a mindset of metabolic mastery. You start to trust your body's design, not fear it. You start to see fasting as a conversation between your mind and your cells. A reminder that you are not dependent on constant feeding to thrive. You are built to endure, to adapt, and to regenerate. This is what real health freedom looks like when you're no longer controlled by cravings or fatigue, but guided by clarity and purpose. You've learned to work with your biology instead of against it. You've reset your metabolism, lowered inflammation, burned off toxic fat, and activated the healing code written into your DNA. If you're ready to reset your metabolism and reclaim your health, commit to your first 72-hour fast and share your results in the comments.